Okay, it is the evening of May 3rd, and if you watched the video this morning, we were really hopeful that we were going to be getting out of the house today, but here we are, not out of the house. So, what is going on? Well, the house is empty, as you can see. So, the day went pretty well. We started off, I did the runs this morning, and was able to drop off everything for donations, and I'm just a mess. It's been a rough day. And when we dropped everything off, I'm kind of giving a tour of just how empty the place is. It's a few little things to pack up, lots of empty space, things to be taken out. It's raining currently, so we can't put a bunch of stuff outside. So that's going to go out shortly. But we did the donations and got home. And right as we did, I talked to Stephanie. And she's like, oh yeah, I got to bring the kids over because she wasn't feeling well yesterday, so wasn't able to come over. So she brought Isabella and Wancho over. They hung out for probably 30 minutes or so. And then she's like, would it be helpful if I took the kids for the day? And we're like, oh my gosh, it really would. So she took the kids home with her. And then Dominic and I were able to get really to work. So at that point, we dove really hard into the cleaning and into the packing. So it took till about, I want to say about 2:30, and we got the van loaded. And this was hard. This is our new record for the most stuff we've packed into a vehicle. It's crazy. It's a weight limit. Like the first bag that I went to put in, this is a brand new heavy duty luggage, and it started to tear out. The wheels are collapsing from the weight. The top's ripping off. We had to put it in upside down. There's so much weight in a single bag. And there's so many bags. Everything's pressed up against the windows. It is as tight as it can go. The under trunk is full. Everything's full. There's no extra space. So that was a big challenge. We got that loaded. Then, with that stuff out of the way and the kids not here, we were able to really set into cleaning the house and getting everything thrown out. And it is just absolutely bonkers how much needed to be done yet. So at about a little bit before 3 o'clock, we were looking at kind of the state of things. Sorry, it's going to get dark. And Dominic is like, I think we can make it out in about an hour. And I'm like, I don't know that there's any way for us to make it out today. Like this is so much that has to be done. And it was load after load had to come out for donation. So obviously we took things to donation, but we also keep putting things out here in front. So we actually had a couple loads that went out and completely disappeared. So we put out the microwave, we put out the toaster, we put out some tables, we put out golf clubs and dumbbells and the bar stool and a whole bunch of wastebaskets. And now we have some new stuff that came out pretty late at night. So there's mops and a wastebasket and a stool and stuff. So that's been just a constant cycle of that stuff going. And then the actual just trash and recycling. So out back, the trash and recycling are full. This is what didn't fit there. It's hard to get a scale of just how big this is, this pile. They're going to be bringing in a crane on Friday to get rid of all this. It is epic how much we cleaned out of the house. We had to clean out the garage. We had to clean out, there's so many things we found. I went up to the attic just to make sure that there was nothing up there that had been missed. There hadn't, but I wanted to check. It has been crazy. Just crazy. So it is now 10 to midnight. And we are just now, having worked solid all day, calling it, we think it's done. So we are finishing up tonight. What we have to do in the morning is get up and put a couple big items just out on the patio because we did have a tornado watch tonight. And we got torrential rain, probably for only about 30 minutes. So it wouldn't last that long. It wasn't a big deal. But everything that was outside got wet. A lot of the furniture would have been destroyed. So can't do that. And we need a few things just to get through the night. Like we need chairs and stuff. Those are all going out. And so while the kids were gone, one of the neighbors came by and he's like, hey, I talked to some of the neighbors and they said I should come talk to you, that you've got a lot of stuff for me to pick up and I could pick up a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, heck yeah. So he took a whole bunch of things right then in his pickup truck and he's like, I'll come back later with my dad and get even more. later. So they came back at about 7. Unfortunately, they made it. So they pulled up front and are like, hey, we're here. I'm like, yeah, I'll beat you around out back. And by the time they made it into the alley, we went from no rain to torrential that fast. So they weren't able to take much of anything. They grabbed a few things like weed whackers and leaf blowers and the mower. They got that stuff. But they're going to come back in the morning. I got to text him and let him know when we're gone, and we're just gonna put everything outside for him. So he's gonna get the baker's rack and all the bookshelves, and we've got all kinds of stuff out there that we've been doing. I do still have to get the grill yet, and if I don't make it in the next few minutes, we won't have made it by midnight. The kids are ready to go. We are basically just ready to go to sleep at this point. I have to load like my backpack at the last second. My office is just my mom's old office chair with no back that I've been using for years as just like a little tiny stool, and I have a little tiny laptop desk that leans and just my laptop on it and nothing else. That is the entire office, and my desk has to come out tomorrow morning as well because they'll take that, and that's really it. And like the snacks have to go into the car, and the GoPro. And I've been doing the GoPro prep tonight, so the big card is already. The batteries are charged. I'm unloading all of the SD cards just in case I need them for any reason. They're going to be ready. We're ready. So our plan is to get up. I need to do a video walkthrough of the house. We need to throw the last few things in the car, take the last few things out. Just that need to be protected from the rain, and we're done. So that's the status. So around 5:15, I went over and picked up the girls, and then we had to run to CVS. Good thing we were still around because Dominica forgot her prescription, so we went up and got that. Then we went to Long John Silver's and picked up dinner for everybody. The girls both went for grilled salmon dinners. Nice. Dominica and I went for salmon tacos, so it was an all salmon dinner for us, and that was a nice change. We haven't done Long John Silver's in like a year and a half. It seems like we were just there, but it was pre-COVID. It really shows how much COVID has skewed our concept of time. That all these things that I'm like, oh yeah, we eat there all the time. No, it's almost 2 years since we were regularly going to Long John Silver's, and lots of things like that, right? We've just missed so much time. It is weird, especially now that we're going to restaurants again, to think about the fact that we had this massive amount of time with no restaurants whatsoever. We went something like a year without going out ever. And so, yeah, it's been weird. So we came back, we ate dinner, and then straight back into all the packing and everything. It's been an exhausting but productive day, and it's all done. And we knew, like, at 3:00, it was like, well, maybe we could leave stuff for somebody or something. We just need to get on the road. But if we did that, we'd be hitting the storms. So we're really glad we didn't, because the storms were much worse than we expected. And we'd be having to get 2 hotels on the road, which of course is more expensive than just getting one. And we wouldn't get to Dad's any earlier because we were already at a point where there's no way we're going to make it before Wednesday. So it would have been fruitless. So it's actually really good that we are able to get up early in the morning and just go after getting a good night's sleep and knowing the stuff is done and not having this crazy pressure. And the car's already done, so we don't have to worry about that. And there's nothing in the house. At this point, there's nothing that can hold us back. It is just get up and go. We've really gotten our ducks in a row at this point. So that is where we are for the second half of the 3rd of May 2021. And I just really, it couldn't have been a bigger blessing that the girls have not been able to see their friends since before COVID. I mean, they saw them just before COVID, right? But not since the beginning of COVID. So somewhere around January is the last time that they saw their friends, who just before then moved right over there, right? Just 3 blocks over. It's easy walking distance. And they never got to take advantage of that the whole time that they lived there, because we've had COVID the whole time. So that was awful, and very important that they got some time to actually see. I mean, they talked to each other on FaceTime, of course, but that they actually got time to play and spend the day together was exceedingly important, and totally worth having lost the travel day, even if that was we just had to wait for that. So All right, I will see everybody tomorrow from the road. We are not going to be using the GoPro to record during the day because we're going to be doing a drive warp with it, so it will be tied up.